Welcome back to the GCSE Maths Pro YouTube channel. Today's video is the second part of basic trigonometry where we'll be focusing on calculating angles. So make sure you go back and check out the first part, which was on trigonometry for finding missing sides, before you check out this video, because we've already kind of gone through the method in a lot of detail. This video and the past two videos in this series are for foundation tier as well. Anything beyond this video is then higher tier. Okay, so these are the same two pages that I had on the previous video. If you haven't screenshotted them or saved them or written them down, make sure to do it now. These are the formulas that we're going to use. So as I said, I've done a more in-depth explanation in the first video where we use it to work out sides. Okay, we use trigonometry to work out sides. But in this case, we're now going to use it to find angles. This other screen was also in the previous video, which we use our formula triangles to work out what calculations we need to do. So this time we're going to jump straight into it. I'll link below the previous video if you want to go check that out first. It's also going to be in the description. So as we said, trigonometry or basic trigonometry with SOHCAHTOA is related to and only useful for right-angled triangles. However, it's different to Pythagoras because we're now using angles, aren't we? Pythagoras' theorem was two sides that we've got, find the third side. In this case, we're going to have a combination of two sides and an angle. Okay, whichever one is missing, it doesn't matter, but we're going to have an angle thrown in there. So, how do we work out angle x? Well, we're going to go through the same steps pretty much at the start. You need to label the sides that are relevant. This time it's a little bit easier because obviously you're given two sides. So the two sides that are relevant here is obviously 8.7 and the 13.5. And we need to label them with either opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is obviously the diagonal side, the longest one. The opposite is the one opposite the angle they're referring to. So you can see here this is the angle x. In this case, 13.5 would be our opposite. And then the adjacent, which means next to, is the side that is next to the angle. That's not the hypotenuse, right? In this case, the 8.7 is the adjacent. I only label two sides because when I use my acronym SOHCAHTOA, it's specifically based on two pairings of sides. So you can see here, opposite hypotenuse, or opposite and adjacent. If I label all three sides, like that, for example, because that is obviously the hypotenuse. If I label all three, it's not really helping me figure out which one I need to use, is it? So only label two sides in this case. The hypotenuse is not relevant because I don't have it and I don't want to find it. Okay, O and A, which one has O and A? Obviously TOA. Then we use the formula triangle. So as I said in the previous video, you put this acronym in the formula triangle. The middle letter is the one that goes at the top of the triangle every time. So this time we're looking for the angle. So I'm going to cross out the t, the tan, okay, or the sin or the cos, depending on which one we're using, because we've already got opposite and adjacent, haven't we? So we're not going to cross out either of these two. So for the angle, I'm going to cross out the tan in this case. So when I write it down, I've got tan of the angle. If you remember in the first video, we said the angle always goes with the sin or the cos or the tan on your calculator. So tan of the angle, this is just theta to represent an angle. You could put x if you want in a minute, is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. Okay, so now we can put our numbers in. Tan, in this case of x, is equal to 13.5 over 8.7. So let's put that in our calculator. So 13.5 over 8.7. Now, you're going to look at that and go, yeah, not sure that's correct. Because think about it, this is why I want you to, and I mentioned it in the Pythagoras one as well. Think about it, does your answer make logical sense? We're looking for degrees. Is it likely, and I know it's not drawn to scale, but still, is it likely that that x is going to be 1.5 degrees? No, it's not, is it? The smallest you're probably going to get is maybe 10 degrees, but most likely it's going to be like 20, 30, 40, 50 degrees or something like that. 1.5 degrees or less than 1 degrees, sometimes it's 0 point something, is obviously not the final answer. So we've gone through the same steps as we did for the side. The only thing, though, is, can you see that that's tan of the angle is equal to 1.55? Not just the angle, not just x. If we think about, this is effectively just an equation, isn't it? If I want to solve an equation, I need x on its own. So I need to reverse or move the tan to the other side of the equation, don't I? So that's where you might see, if you have a look, I don't know if it's really small, but where you've got sin, cos and tan on the buttons, can you see slightly above it on your calculator? You should have sin to the -1, cos -1, tan -1. Those mean the inverse. So what that means is when I'm finding an angle, okay, so only when I want to find an angle with trigonometry, I'm actually going to use these buttons, the inverse. You might have to press shift and then the tan button in this case to get that. So I'm going to do shift, tan. You see how it comes up with tan -1? Then I'm going to put my answer button, which we mentioned in the previous video. Use your answer button. Don't round the numbers, okay, because you'll get a wrong answer. Use the answer button because it will copy all of those decimals. If I put equals, you see how 57.2 now looks like a more reasonable answer, doesn't it? You think, yeah, that's believable. 57 degrees, that seems reasonable. Okay, so to 1 decimal place, x is 57.2. So, when you're finding out angles, everything is exactly the same until the last step. Okay, you have to remember, you have to do what's called the inverse, or the -1, of either sin, cos, or tan. A lot of people get confused as to when do I use the -1. Only when you're trying to calculate an angle. As you saw in the previous video, we were only looking for sides, so we never used the -1 buttons. So let's do another one. So work out the angle x. We're going to label two sides that are relevant, obviously 5 and 9. 5 is the opposite, isn't it? Opposite the angle. 9 is the hypotenuse. So in this case, we're using sin. My formula triangle is like this. Because I'm looking for the angle, we always cross out the sin in this case. Okay? Because the sin is the one that goes with the angle. We've already got opposite and hypotenuse, haven't we? So my equation is sin theta, or sin of the angle, is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, which in this case, sin of x is equal to 5 over 9. Now, you can put 5 over 9 in. I'll show you what you get. 5 divided by 9. You can see 0.5. Now, again, same thing as the previous question. That's clearly not 0.5 degrees, is it? So, what you can do is either do that and then put sin -1 answer. Or if you, obviously we know that it's going to be an angle, so we know we need to sin -1. I do shift sin, so I get -1. And then straight away I can put the 5 over 9 in. Okay, you can do it straight. And then you go, oh, okay, I'm avoiding having that 0 point something number. I'm going straight to my actual answer. That seems more reasonable, doesn't it? 33 degrees. I'm going to round it to 1 decimal place, so 33.7. Okay, so just don't forget, when you're working out an angle, you have to use the inverse of sin or cos or tan. Otherwise, everything else is the same. So that's our answer. Okay, hopefully by now you might have kind of got the gist of it, so give this one a go if you feel comfortable. So first of all, label the two sides that are relevant. So the 20 is relevant, isn't it? That's the hypotenuse, the diagonal. Then 16.4 is relevant, which is, in this case, the adjacent, isn't it? It's next to the x, but not the hypotenuse. So we've got a and h, which means ca. So we're going to be using cos on our calculator. Formula triangle. Again, I'm looking for an angle, so I'm going to cross out the cos, because I've already got the adjacent and the hypotenuse, haven't I? So that's the only one I'm missing. So cos of the angle, cos theta, is adjacent over hypotenuse, which in this case, cos of x is equal to 16.4 over 20. Now that's the main reason why I write it out like that. Don't just put 16.4 over 20, because you'll probably go, well, why have I got a really odd number? Again, if I divide that, that's obviously going to be less than 1, isn't it? Okay, it's clearly not 0.82 degrees. It's very unlikely. So that's why I write it out fully. I write down cos of x, or whatever they give you, if it's theta or whatever other letter, is equal to 16.4 over 20. So therefore I know I need to do cos inverse. Okay, cos -1. Then I can put 16.4 over 20, and it will skip straight past that really strange answer and give you one that looks more reasonable. So we've got 34.9 to 1 decimal place. Okay, and again, I had to do the inverse. Okay, I had to do cos -1 to get just x on its own, just the angle on its own. But that is it. It's very similar otherwise. Okay, so similar to the previous question, we've got a couple of questions which are a little bit more complex. Still the same trigonometry, okay, still the same working out, but it might be a bit longer. So in this case, work out the angle x to 1 decimal place. You can see it's the one down here. We get this scenario quite a lot. We need to have two sides in order to work out an angle, don't we? We need two pieces of information in order to work out the third. You look at this right-hand triangle, I've only got one piece of information, one side. So clearly it's not enough. I already don't have enough information about this triangle over here. So I'm going to have to jump back to the left-hand triangle first, see what I can work out over there that might help me with my right-hand triangle. Now in this case, we've got this rectangle in the middle. Obviously rectangles, the opposite sides are the same, aren't they? So this dashed line here is the same as the dashed line on the right. So if I can use my left triangle to work out the dashed line, I can then just copy that number over here, can't I, for my right-hand triangle. So that's what I'm going to do. I need to work out this dashed line. So we're going to go through the same process. We need to label the sides. Now this one overlaps with our previous video because we're working out a side, okay? So if you haven't watched that video, go check it out. I've linked it down below. Label the two sides that are relevant. Obviously, the one we want is the opposite in this case, isn't it? And the one that we have is the hypotenuse. So I'm using sin. So step 1, draw my formula triangle so I can work out what to put in my calculator. I'm looking for the opposite. Cross that one out. My formula is the opposite is equal to sin of the angle times by the hypotenuse. Now in this case, we've got sin of 80 and then times by 6.8. That's what's going in my calculator. So sin, just normal sin, not the inverse because we're working out a side. Close the bracket, times by 6.8. Okay, this is another situation where we're kind of halfway through the question, aren't we? This is not the end of the question, so I don't want to round this too soon. I also don't want to have to write down all those decimals. So I'm going to write down a couple, maybe 2 or 3 decimal places. But in your calculator, you're going to copy this answer, okay? So you see where at the bottom it says A and S? That is the answer button. It means it will copy the whole of this answer next time we use it. So I'm just going to put 6.696 ... As we said, obviously we know it does carry on. So this is 6.696. And as a rectangle, obviously this other side is also going to be the same, isn't it? 6.696 ... So now I can jump over to my actual triangle over here. I want to work out x. So label the two sides that I know are relevant. So obviously the opposite is the one we just worked out, and the one that we're given as well is 4.9. That is the adjacent, isn't it? It's next to my angle. So step 2, SOHCAHTOA, I need to use TOA. So TOA in my formula triangle. In this case, because I'm looking for the angle, I'm going to cross out the tan, the T, because I've got opposite and adjacent already, haven't I? So my formula is tan of the angle equals opposite over adjacent, and if I put in the numbers that I have, obviously we can put x for the angle equals the opposite, which is 6.696, isn't it? However, I'm going to be using my answer button in reality, okay? I don't want to round it too soon. And then over 4.9. So I get my calculator. You see how I still have my 6.696 ... I'm just going to go straight and do, because we know it's an angle, I want to do tan inverse, don't I? So tan inverse, fraction, then I put my answer button. That will copy the whole of that decimal, not just the couple that I wrote down. Over 4.9, close the bracket on the outside. There we go. To 1 decimal place is 53.8. So in that case, I did have to use the tan inverse, the tan to the -1, because I'm working out an angle, okay? So just don't forget that bit. Double check, does my answer make sense? Well, yeah, that seems reasonable, doesn't it? 53 degrees. Okay, so it's not really anything different in terms of anything additional or anything new. All it was is we had to do the same process twice. So this one is a worded one this time. Now, I've kind of got a little diagram here. If they haven't given you a diagram, you can always draw it yourself, a little sketch. So a tree has a height of 19 meters. So I'm going to draw a line like that. That is 19 meters, isn't it? The patch of grass is 30 meters long. Okay, draw another line, something like that. That's 30 meters. Find the angle of elevation between the end of the grass and the top of the tree. So I can draw a line joining those up then. The end of the grass over here to the top of the tree. Do you see how that's creating a triangle? And not only just that, we can assume obviously in this context it's going to be a right angled triangle. So the angle of elevation, that's here. So you can put x if you want, or theta, or whatever you want to use. Once we've drawn it out, it's basically just the same again, isn't it, SOHCAHTOA? But we just had a bit of a context and a bit of a scenario to try and kind of figure out initially. So I'm going to label the sides of my triangle that are relevant. Obviously 19 is the opposite, isn't it? And 30 is the adjacent. So I need to use TOA. So my formula triangle, because I'm looking for the angle, I'm going to cross out the tan, because I've already got opposite and adjacent, haven't I? So tan of the angle is equal to opposite over adjacent, which in this case, we've got tan of x is equal to 19 over 30. Now, because I know it's the angle, I'm going to go straight in and do tan inverse. Okay, tan -1. 19 over 30. And now this looks like a reasonable answer, doesn't it? 32.3 degrees. We'll write it to 1 decimal place. 1 decimal place. Okay, so that is x. So same exact thing, we just had to kind of figure it out, where is the triangle within all of these words in this problem here. So that has now covered everything to do with basic trigonometry in SOHCAHTOA. If you want to go back and check out the first video in terms of calculating sides, I will link it here now. The next video is on 3D trigonometry and Pythagoras' theorem, which is for higher tier students only. So if you're doing foundation tier, you can stop there. That is everything you need to know. So thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. Leave down below any questions or comments you might have, and make sure to subscribe.